Hi there, my name is Glenn Monroe and I own Brain Diesel. And in this video, I want to show you how to see where you're trending with your numbers. So you have a number of where you want to be by the end of the year, and you have a number of where you currently are. So based on where you currently are and how much time has passed, where are you going to end up? So if I have $4,000 in sales of a product on June 30th for the year to date, then because I've got 4,000 so far, I'm trending to hit 8,000 because my first 6 months I got 4,000. My next 6 months I should get 4,000. But it's not always as simple as doubling the number because it depends on what day it is in the period. So we're going to calculate that today. Here I have some products with actuals and target numbers. So I need a start date and an end date so I can calculate how long the period is I'm looking at. Now my start date, if I'm doing a calendar year, you might assume, well, I'm just going to put in January 1st. But I want January 1st to be day 1. For my start date here, I want to put day 0. So I'm going to put in 12/31. And when it's not the current year I'm putting in, I have to type in that year number. So 12/31/2011, enter. And there we go. And now for my end date, I want to put in 12/31 for the current year. If you're not getting the formatting here that you want, go up here and choose the long date. That way you can see the words for the formula, the months we're dealing with. So I now know how my start and my end date. How many days do I have in this period? Well, plus my end date minus my start date, and that gives me 366 days. If you do this and you get when you do this, it may end up looking something like this. If that's the case, what you should do is go up and hit the comma key and then just kill your decimals and it will show you 366 days. So now I know how many days the year is. Now I could have just calculated that, and that's not that hard to do, and type the number in. But what I'm showing you now is if I'm doing a quarterly report and I put in here that it's 3/31 and the end is 6/30 for my second quarter report, there's 91 days. So I don't have to assume anything. It just quickly calculates whatever I want it to be. So now I need to know, well, what's today's date? Well, today happens to be the 11th of July, and I could put in 7/11, but then I got to remember to keep looking. So instead of doing that, I'm going to put in the today function, and I'm going to go equals today. And when you're doing a function, and a function is just a math formula or any kind of formula where it's not basic math, so equals sum or equals count or equals whatever, you're going to type in equals that word, so today, open bracket, and that's the structure of any formula or any function. And now I need to close my bracket off. Without those brackets, it won't work. So equals today, open parentheses, close parentheses, enter, and it says July the 11th. And tomorrow when I open this document, it'll say July 12th, and so on. So I'm going to go to my formula here, my formatting here. I'll use the format paintbrush and put that there for me. So now how many days have gone by this year? What's today's day number? Well, plus my current date, let's try that again, plus my current date minus my start date calculates that, oops, again, it took this formatting. So I'm going to take my 366, I'll use the format paintbrush, and there. I'm now 193 days into my year. So 366 total, 193 days. What percent of the year has passed? It's a little over half. Well, plus the 193, divide by the 366, and I'm 53% of my way through my year. So if today's date happened to be October the 7th, I'm 77%, or if it's April 15th, I'm 29%. But based on today, I'm 53% of the way through the year. All my math is almost done. I've got one last thing to do. All I need is an actual and how much time has happened. And if I divide my actual number by what percent of the way I am through my period, it will tell me where I'm actually trending to be. So my actual is 1280, my target's 2804. So plus my actual, divide by my percentage. With the percentage, I need the dollar signs on it. So hit your F4 key to put the dollar signs on there and hit enter. If you don't understand what the dollar signs do, it's worthwhile taking a class in Excel to learn that alone. That's the critical skill between writing one formula in 1,000 to do the same amount of work. I have a class called Excel for the Daily Users. You want to know how to do this and why it works. But I just drag my formula down, and now I've got my numbers in here. I'm going to kill the pennies, And now I can see that my target was 1,700. I'm trending 24. Here my target's almost 4,000. I'm trending 2. So now I can react to that and do what I need to do. But based on what I've shown you so far, how long is what's the duration of the period I'm looking at, whether it be a month or a quarter or 4 months or a year. You decide your start and end date. What's the current date within that region? How many days have passed? Let's subtract our start date from our current, and then divide how far in we are by how many days are our total, and that gives me my percent. And I divide my actual by my percent, and that gives me my trending number. That's it. It's all just basic math. The only curveballs I threw at you here was the today formula, which is a nice easy one to do, and the dollar sign thing, which if you don't understand, it's worth looking at. If you'd like to know more about Microsoft training, be sure to check out my website, braindiesel.ca. I've got classes in power formulas, list analysis, and just simple how to write the basic math formulas I covered off here today for you. Thanks for watching. Stay pumped, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.